So your sleep, next question, your sleep routine, you get less than 8 hours sleep.
Yes.
From what I know. Okay. So your sleep routine, how many hours of sleep do you get? And what are the techniques you used to get to sleep if you're not tired? You know, do you take naps? Does that work?
Okay. So I generally sleep, I try and sleep at least 5.5 or 6 hours a night. It generally ends up being somewhere between 5 and 5.5, generally. Mm-hmm. I feel not good if I sleep for, 7 hours. I don't feel good. I feel groggy. Gotcha. I don't know why that is. That's the way it is, though. I feel good. And sometimes I feel better when I slept 4.5 hours, otherwise known as 4.5 hours.
Sure.
So there's no doubt that I don't need a ton of sleep. That being said, sometimes I do feel tired. And sometimes, come the afternoon, especially if I have to do something boring or tedious. And that's when I'll feel really legitimately tired. If I'm up and moving, I don't need to sleep. I actually don't need to sleep. Like I can go long periods of times without sleeping. If there's something actively engaging my mind, especially something, it's got to be partially physical, because you sitting down reading a book when you're tired is tough. So I do, and power naps are great. And this is something that I learned, part of it in high school and part of it in basic SEAL training. When I was in high school, my anatomy and physiology teacher, I used to go and walk by his room at lunchtime, and he'd be in there with his feet up on the desk in like his chair all low. And he'd just be in there sitting, doing a little bit of work. And one day I said, hey, you look kind of relaxed in there. And he said, hey, this is a technique. And I said, what do you mean? He said, when you rest, elevate your feet above your heart, because your veins are stressed out. The one-way valves in your veins, you've got blood pooled up in areas in your feet. You want to get that stuff out of there. So elevate your feet above your heart. And I was like, that makes sense. Then in SEAL training, you'd come back from, let's say, breakfast in the morning or lunch, and you get back to the barracks and you have to grab gear to get ready for whatever the next evolution was going to be. Well, they'd give you time to grab the gear, but they'd also give you time to, use the bathroom or whatever. And it would literally be, they'd say, all right, we got to be back out here in 8 minutes. Well, it'd take you 1 minute to get your gear done. So if I didn't have to go to the bathroom, I would go in my room, I would lay down on the floor, I'd put my feet up on the bed, and I would set my alarm clock for 6 minutes. And I would get a power nap, and you'd fall asleep almost immediately because you're so tired. So you just fall asleep. 6 minutes later, boom, you wake up and you feel refreshed and you feel recharged. If you sleep for longer than that, sometimes you start to feel groggy again. So you got to be careful that you don't sleep for too long. But yeah, try the elevated feet above the heart, 8-minute power nap when you're feeling tired, and it'll make you feel better. You got to set your alarm clock so that 8 minutes doesn't turn into 2 hours. And that's it. I know, and probably, I know I should probably sleep more, and I would like to do that. I try and do that sometimes. But also my mind, it's not like a big choice that I'm making. Right. When I'm thinking about something, it cannot be stopped. Yeah. it cannot be stopped. Yeah. When I'm thinking about something, it just goes. And in my mind, it feels like I'm going down various tunnels of thought. Mm-hmm. That's literally what it feels like. I'm going down these various tunnels of thought, and one leads to another. I'm taking a left turn, right turn. I'm getting all these ideas, and I can't sleep. Yeah. So,
Yeah, and I would imagine that a lot of people are like that, where if they have a lot going on in their life, where they can't get these certain thoughts out of their head, good or bad, sometimes you're just excited about something and you can't stop thinking about it and, whatever. But if that's a problem, if it gets in the way of your sleep and it's jamming you up the next day, then I'm sure you can, I'm sure meditation can kind of help, is from what I hear about meditation.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
You don't know anything about that.
But I will say this. If you want to go to bed earlier, you have to get up earlier. Like, it doesn't work in reverse. You can't just force yourself to go to sleep at night. You have to just wake up earlier and be more tired at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I love the feeling of when I'm so tired that my head hits the pillow and I fall asleep immediately. I love that feeling of just exhaustion. That's what I'm going for every day. Is see if I can just burn it out and just be so tired at the end of the day. So that's my sleep routine. Probably made all kinds of doctors and stuff angry at me. Sorry, Doc Parsley. I know. I'm evil.
Like, I think they say that the ideal amount of sleep is 7.5 hours or something like that. But I would imagine it'd be different from person. Like, if you're used to getting 6 hours sleep, doesn't your body conform? Like, your sleep cycles, I think they conform to that 6 hours that they have.
Dr. Echo has spoken.
Yep.
Your sleep schedule will conform.
I learned that on the internet.